And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. It's Divas time. Here comes Christy Klein. You know, it has been a while since we've seen her. She mostly accompanies Dylan nowadays, but you know, it's going to be nice to see her get in the ring. It's been a while since we've seen her actually compete.
Hopefully she's not too rusty.
Well, you know, I don't think so. I think the women in this company, as opposed to some other companies, tend to wrestle with some actual skills, so I think we're going to see... I think these divas are pretty much rounded out, no pun intended, for all intents and purposes.
Waiting for the lawsuit to be filed.
Hey, I didn't mention any names. I didn't point fingers. That could be anybody. That could be Baskin and Robbins, for all I know. And by the way, you should eat there. That's a free plug. Hey, it's Jade! Here comes Jade and Connor. We saw last week Jade re-debuted and took out the CWE Women's Champion, Allison James, earning herself a match tomorrow night against Allison James. So I think this is just one of those matches for Jade where if she's able to win it, oh, she's going to have some confidence rolling into tomorrow night.
For sure. I mean, she looked spectacular on her re-debut. We'll see if the wave carries over here.
That's what it's going to come down to, and honestly, folks, I think Jade's definitely, once again, as pretty much always, is going to have the power advantage for sure. Jade is just, we talked about it last week, she's just such a tough female. She's just a powerful woman. She's intimidating, and I love it. And I know you love it too.
Oh, I do.
You love yourself some Jade. As Christy Klein finds herself in a bad way early on in this match, Jade sends her into the corner. And there's the clothesline. Off the ropes, and a running bulldog connects home. We saw her do that a number of times against Allison James last week. Well, misses the elbow. Oh, but not those ones. And off the ropes, comes back, and a back body drop. That is straight power. That's ridiculous. And now, oh, right to the back. She's got those, all that metal in those boots. Those things got to have about 50 laces on them. Those things got to be heavy, driving that right into the spine. And now Jade sizing up this crowd. Sizing up Christy Klein. Shoulder block with authority.
Almost looked like an NFL defenseman there for a second.
I know. That was ridiculous. She just Trent Cold right over top of her. She's the proverbial Tom Brady to the Steelers' defense. And there is the jawbreaker. And what I mean by that is she just trampled all over them. Go Eagles. And now Jade is looking here. Look at this. And here it comes. Jaded line. And it's got to be over. And it is. Thanks for coming, Christy Klein. Jade is going to walk away victorious.
Nice little 5-minute warm-up almost.
Yeah. And I didn't expect, I mean, I'm not trying to knock on Christy Klein. She's a perfectly lovely woman, perfectly legitimate competitor, but when I heard Jade's music, I didn't have high hopes for her.
No, not at all. I mean,
tomorrow night, this woman will be taking on our women's champion in a one-on-one match. Might be the first legitimate contention for Allison James that she's had in a long time, and I am looking forward to that among other matches tomorrow night. Nonetheless, Connor, we have to talk about tomorrow night because it's important. Coming up next will be the next qualifying and the final qualifying match for the Road to Glory ladder match. We already know Chase Adams, Kenny Barrett, both members of The Edge, and now Brandon Lopez are headed to Road to Glory. We're going to have to find out who that sixth man is that's going to round out the annual ladder match every year. And it's going to be... I should have known. I should have known that somehow this weasel would find his way in. You know, last week, Eric Matthews cut a promo while being interviewed by Matthew Krowitz, our interview person, who I want to give a big shout out to Matthew Krowitz. I hope his career here in CWE is long and important. Nonetheless, he cut a promo with Matthew Krowitz last week saying that if he didn't get a qualifying match here tonight, he was going to go around hurting people. Now, I don't know how serious of a threat that was, or even if it was serious, if we should take it seriously considering it is Eric Matthews, but you know, it's going to be interesting to see how Corey Fox responds to this. Do you give Eric Matthews
or
new ones?
Does he even respond at all?
That's
last week.
We'll find out.
In an interview with Matthew Krowitz, I explained to the world that Eric Matthews was done being pushed around, being taken advantage of. And I intend to fulfill the promise that I made right here, right now. Because that's why I'm out here. Corey Fox, I am demanding my Road to Glory ladder match, qualifying match. Give me a match, give me an opponent right now.
Well, let's see how this plays. And he is going to answer him. There's the man.
You know, Eric, last week, I'm not going to lie to you, when you were talking to Matt and you said you were going to go around, what did you say, hurting people? I was a little bit concerned. But after I thought your proposal through, and as the owner and chairman of Championship Wrestling Entertainment, part of my responsibilities are to ensure safety of athletes. And as a result, I can't risk the safety of my athletes by having them injured by you. So what I did was I created a scenario in which you get what you want, and everyone on the roster is kept safe. That's why tonight, Eric Matthews, right now, you are going to get your match. And if you can beat these three, you'll be going to Road to Glory.
Well, these three? Wait a minute, there go our lights. Connor, the lights are out again. Wait a minute. Wait a minute! I forgot all about these guys! Connor, this is quite a turn of events here. If I've learned one thing in CWE, it's don't cross the boss, because here come the disciples. Syndrak's disciples, Dylan Bishop, Cameron Cross, Eric Berlin on their way down to the ring, and I think that Eric Matthews might be biting his tongue from now on.
Totally by surprise here.
I did not expect the disciples to be in the building. I didn't expect the disciples to be anywhere near the city. This is an incredible turn of events. The disciples are here, and Eric Matthews definitely has bitten off more than he can chew with these three. Let's not forget, these are the guys who you have to go through these guys to get to Syndrak. And you know Syndrak better than most, and there is the ritualistic drinking of Syndrak's blood for strength. And it's one of the weirdest things I've ever seen, but I mean, it works, so how can we argue? The disciples are here, and Connor, this is incredible. This is why I love CWE. You never know what is going to happen. And it looks like Matthews will start this match off with Dylan Bishop, the voice of the disciples. And he comes out on top of that, and an uppercut. Now, I definitely think Eric Matthews is going to really be, he's really got to be writhing right now.
Oh, but I mean, you have to think, there's either one or two, or...
Oh, nice uppercut.
There's two outcomes for this match. If he loses, I mean, it's going to be horrible, but if he wins, you know he's going to be talking non-stop about
But here's the other question. Which disciple goes to Road to Glory if they win this match? This is a qualifier, meaning if the disciples win, one of them has to go to Road to Glory. Who goes? And there's the tag to the muscle, Eric Berlin. And this is going to get ugly. And the elbow. As Eric Berlin is now in the ring with Eric Matthews. And a back suplex. Eric Berlin, 6'8", 257 pounds of muscle. And even if he wasn't in this group, I think he would be one of the most intimidating guys on the roster.
For sure. I mean, I'm intimidated right now, and I'm not even in the ring with him.
Well, you're intimidated by small animals as well, so it's not saying a lot.
Rabbits, I'm just saying they're scary.
They hop. It's frightening. It's terrifying. Where do they go?
Not as terrifying as disciples, though.
Back to the match.
The
and
pin.
then cover and up, but Dylan Bishop saves the match there for the disciples. And a springboard clothesline. And I don't think the ref is getting in his face, but I don't think the ref has really any control over these disciples. I think, the truth is, I think if there's a tag, if the disciples really wanted to, I think they could pretty much take this show over. They do have Syndrak in their arsenal at any time. And now look at the, oh! What an innovative move by Dylan Bishop. I've never seen anything like that before. As now Eric Matthews is sent, oh, but Berlin grabbing on and choking him. He is straight up choking him. And you know, I'm not going to lie, I don't feel bad for Eric Matthews. I don't even feel slightly bad for Eric Matthews. And a moonsault connects home.
Not at all. I mean, he goes around basically running his mouth.
Hasn't backed it up since I think the summer. Oh, look at Cross. Cameron Cross. And now the shot to the gut. Oh, what was that? These guys are so crazy. And a huge elbow drop from the top rope.
But thinking about something, do you agree with the match call here? I mean, I agree that
And there's the tag to Cross.
something had to be done about Eric Matthews. You had to give him the match he wanted. But did it have to go to this extent? Did you have to give him a match against 3 opponents, let alone the Disciples?
I think it's not so much a matter of what you have to do versus what will stop the problem. And in this situation, given a match against, I mean, who else is going to face Eric Matthews? You know, there's a lot of guys on the card, but who's really going to make the impact that Disciples are? And the fact of the matter is, if this is going to shut up Eric Matthews and get him to stop running his mouth, then I think Corey Fox absolutely was justified in going to this length. Not that I'm interested in saying that the things Corey Fox has been doing lately are justified, because we've all seen that they're not. And Eric Matthews is surprisingly fighting back here. But, oh, he angered Bishop, and here comes Bishop and chops out his knee. The Disciples proving that numbers matter here in this business. Cameron Cross, the technician of the group, is going to work here on Eric Matthews. Comes back, nice hip toss. Dylan Bishop wants in this match. Eric Berlin is ecstatic over in the corner there. And that's where Eric Matthews doesn't want to be, in that Disciples corner. There's the tag to Berlin. Off the ropes. Comes back, leg drop, followed by an elbow, and these Disciples are ruthless, man. I love these Disciples.
And they're just picking apart Eric Matthews. And, I mean, I'm not going to lie, I almost feel a little bit sad for him right now.
Wait a minute. Look at this. Oh my God, he's got him up for that torture rack. Stretching out the spine of Eric Matthews over his shoulders. And he taps out. He taps out. Eric Matthews has gone down. The Disciples win. The question now, Con, is which one of them is going to Road to Glory?
Well, they might have to fight amongst themselves almost.
I don't know. I have no idea how to make this out, but it doesn't matter. The Disciples are victorious, ladies and gentlemen. Eric Matthews is in pain. I'm not upset. Con's not upset. These people are not upset. But we're going to have to find out how this develops later. We'll be right back.